by Coors Light, our friends at Chick-fil-A. You can stop by and see me and my mom at Chick-fil-A next week, East Point Mall. Thursday, we're giving away free breakfast items. And I got a guy here who's been to a lot of Super Bowls and now doing some sports radio. And you know him from the entertainment world, the sports world. Pat O'Brien, what's going on, my man?
Hey, nice to see you guys. How are you?
How are you, man?
Good.
How are things at in Hollywood?
You got a good spot here. You're right in the middle.
I wore my Oriole jersey today.
I got a great Oriole story. You know, when the
Does it involve them winning?
well, in a way.
I want to hear it.
I'll tell you. Well, yes, it does.
It's been so long.
Yes,
I
it
barely
does.
remember.
When the Eagles were putting out the Long Road, Warner Brothers wanted them to do another album, obviously, back in the '70s,
Boy, they hate each other.
and they sat down and they said, "We'll," to the Warner Brothers executive. They said, "We'll do." Glenn Frey said, "We'll do another album if you can name the starting lineup." It was during the Palmer years, back in the '70s. If you can name that rotation, and the guy sat there, and he struggled with it, but he was able to get out the names of that great rotation back in those days, and that's how the Long Run got made. They said, "Okay, we'll do the album."
Really?
Yeah, it's a true story.
If I ever sit with Henley or Walsh or any of those guys,
They'll know the story, man.
I'm a huge Eagles fan.
Yeah, they're great. They're all good friends of mine, and they tell that story all the time. It's very funny. They made this radio executive sit there and struggle with that line. Of course, in those
Which
days,
one was a baseball fan? Walsh?
Glenn Frey.
I met Walsh one time at the All-Star game in Cleveland. So I guess that was '97, and I've never seen.
Joe's a big baseball fan too.
Glenn Frey was a Dodgers fan, right?
Yeah, but Glenn knew everything about baseball at the time. Anyway, how did we get on that? I guess I brought it up.
Because I'm wearing an Oriole jersey.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
The reason I'm wearing an Oriole jersey, we have the prime location on Radio Row. We're literally behind.
Well, I don't know.
Rich Eisen said they ripped it all apart today. I wore my Oriole jersey, figured if I'm going to be on TV, I want to be known as an Oriole fan. Because I'm the guy that led the walkout on Angelo's a couple years ago.
Okay.
They took my press pass. You can imagine free speech ain't free in America, Pat, you know? So I haven't had a press pass in 5 years. Luis Aparicio is my cousin. So
oh, really?
I'm a baseball legacy guy.
Well, I'm a big Wire fan too, so I love it.
I live The Wire, so I've never watched it. It scares the hell out of me.
Yeah. I love the Wire is one of the great shows ever. Anyway, here we are.
Simon and I worked together back in the Sun in the 80s, and I know it's true. That's the sad part.
A lot of actors came out of that. I mean, Glee, the star of Glee was in The Wire. He was the bumbling detective in The Wire.
See, I don't watch The Wire. It frightens me. I can't, I live it. So
you got to get rid of your fears, man. That's how freedom happens. Get
how
rid
many
of your
Super Bowls
fears.
for you?
24, 25, somewhere in there.
I
hosted 4 of them.
You ever seen it like this? I mean, with this snow and this ice, it's just been uncanny in Dallas.
Yeah, I have. I was in Atlanta and Detroit.
Wait, Atlanta wasn't this bad.
The first day it was. But this is awful. I mean, they're really taking a hit. I mean, it'll be fine this weekend. I think when people see it on television, they're going to wonder what the hell we were all talking about all week.
Because
it's going to be 60 degrees, and the sun will be out, the stadium will be glistening, and everybody will be in a great mood. But it's been a struggle. I mean, it's hard. It's been hard to get around. There was a taxi strike here. Now, remind me when this was put on the calendar. 5 years ago, they couldn't figure this out. So there's a taxi strike this week. But it's been a nightmare, I have to tell you.
The taxi drivers came through here on Monday, and there were about 500 of them. And the media center it's unprecedented. First time there's ever been a media center where there's windows where you can look in and you can literally most of the time there's a big convention center and there's a lobby and all that. Literally, they walked in and you heard, it sounded like the running of the bulls. I mean, it was so loud, and I went to the door and guys were holding signs saying apartheid, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And they said, taxi strike. And I didn't think anything of it until I thought, well, how are people going to get around? And it had to do with with green.
What they made them do was they switched from unleaded to regular.
Right.
And it was a city ordinance, and they didn't want to do it. So
it
came down to this. It came down to Super Bowl week. By the way,
it's a good thing that they marched on Monday because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday it's been an ice rink.
Yeah, it's been
Apollo Ono was over here yesterday. I said, "Would you speed skate over here from Love Field?" Because it's just been.
The problem with Apollo is that he can't turn right. So every place he goes in Dallas, he has to.
I didn't think about that.
Turn left all the time.
On him. I really would have used it. Pat O'Brien here, legendary broadcaster. What are you doing? You're doing sports now. You're with Vic the Brick, right?
Well, Vic's with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing.
I have never met him. He's funny.
No, he's a character. Vic's great. Very knowledgeable in sports too. No, Vic and I and Steve Hartman do a show on Fox Sports Radio.
Hartman was one of the loose cannons. I've known Hartman for years.
And they call us the loose cannons.
Okay, there you go.
And my book's coming out in the fall. We'll get to that some other day. And,
get to that now. What are you writing about?
Everything.
I bet you have stories.
And I've got a few. And a couple of them are about me, as a matter of fact. How'd that happen? And I got a couple TV things coming up that you'll see about. So I'm getting busy again.
How you feeling about the game? Don't say Steelers. We're in Baltimore. Keep in mind.
No, I know. It's first of all, I'm angry. I'm not angry about anything. I'm angry that these players don't have to face any of the elements that we have all faced all week. I mean, here you got two storied outdoor teams who have, there's history books written about these games, the frozen tundra and all that, and they're practicing indoors all week and playing in an indoor stadium. So I kind of wish for these two teams anyway. I wish it'd be outside. But I'm looking at the quarterbacks. I mean, you got two really interesting quarterbacks here. You got the Aaron Rodgers situation, who throws the ball so fast he could probably throw it through a car wash and it wouldn't get wet. I mean, this guy's got accuracy down like nobody I've ever seen in my whole life. And he's got his right foot sets back and he's so accurate. Then you got Big Ben, who nobody knows how to take down and can spend the entire half his life in the pocket. And if anybody comes near him, he just pushes him aside. So got two really interesting things there. And I think it's the first time, correct me, that we've had the number 1 and number 2 defenses in the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to pick anybody. I'd probably go with Green Bay, but a lower scoring game than usual.
You been in the stadium yet in Dallas?
Oh, it's spectacular.
I didn't go to media day. I mean,
I didn't do that, but I've been to a game there, and I went to the All-Star game there. It is, believe me, it is the 7th wonder of the world, or 10th or 9th, or whatever.
You look like you're doing well, man. I really appreciate you taking a little time and coming
Everything's
over.
Great.
And thanks for
Thanks for coming by. It's a pleasure
Vic's
seeing
a
you.
good man. I know Hartman now. I know you.
Did Vic do Feeling You for you?
I'm feeling
you. Yeah,
Exactly.
But it's great. Thanks for having me over.
And he
Say hi
wasn't
to your
dressed
mom.
like Elton John or anything.
He's dressed the way he dresses every day. I take Vic to dinner, and he dresses like that at dinner. Now, I've been on the internet enough. I don't need to be seen with Vic the Brick.
Thanks, Pat.
All right, see you
Be
guys.
well. Pat O'Brien, legendary broadcaster, stopping by and saying hello. We'll step out. We'll take a break. We are live on Radio Row. I mean live. I mean, it's like stuff going on the program today. We will hear from James Brown. Mark Malone's going to drop by. Lee Steinberg. We're going to have the mayor of Indianapolis. Don't ask me why, because the Super Bowl's there next year. Herschel Walker and Alistair Overstare. Leslie Visser, Ray Rice, Todd Durkin, Andy Russell, Ira Kaufman, and Roman Gabriel, all with us today. And